The snow has melted, the sun is shining, and the township is ready to burst with renewed energy. The winter months may have seemed long and cold, but we now come out of them with new life, new facilities, new plans, and naturally new stories to tell. In this episode, we'll provide updates on renovations around Township campus, get behind the scenes of local productions, and take a look at the activities that kept our young people engaged and growing all winter long. Let's spring into the latest edition of Living in Bloomfield. It's been a season of renewal here on the Township campus, most notably here at the Senior Center. Thanks to a $65,000 grant from the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan, February saw the reopening of the Friendship Club and Companion Cafe, both which closed during COVID. These services provide safe, fail-free programming for older adults experiencing dementia or memory challenges, as well as enabling caregivers to engage in a shared experience in a supportive setting. The Senior Center's fitness programming has also seen new faces, new equipment, and a new pool.
It's always a little bit suspenseful coming into a new role. I took over Maggie's, and then Jason took over Becca, who was Maggie's assistant at the time. I know I had some big shoes to fill, though. People love Maggie here.
She's someone I'm sure that's very missed here, and hopefully we can help fill in some of that. This is definitely a gym that has a large demographic of people. We have equipment and classes and aqua classes as well that can accommodate people from every age group and also within every ability level, and our equipment is pretty versatile.
One of our newest pieces of equipment is the Smart Balance. It does a Romberg quotient score, which tells us where you might be more likely to fall.
We do balance assessments, and these are offered every day during the week. The whole premise of that, the Smart Balance unit, is to help people, give them resources to use to have as good a balance as possible.
We did just purchase a stretch cage. Looks really complicated, but once you get on there and you start to look at the diagrams, you can totally understand. It's pretty easy to read. We were fortunate enough to receive an ARPA grant. With that, it allowed for some of the new equipment and the saltwater pool project. I was asked what was best, meaning bromine, chlorine. I happen to be in the know, so I said, well, it would first be like chlorine, then bromine, and then saltwater. And then everybody's eyes sort of like lit up and said, well, let's research that. So we did, and then finding that it was so much better for the environment, it was going to be a lot more cost effective for the center dramatically. We shut down in December, and we drained the pool, and then we demoed it, which seemed to be probably the longest process. After we demoed, then we did the resurfacing, and once the resurfacing was done, we then moved to the equipment and worked on the chemical controller and all of the things that we needed for that transition. And then after that, we waited for it to cure, which took about close to 30 days. And now that that has happened, then we dropped the salt and brushed and brushed and brushed, dropped and brushed, and then lo and behold, it transitions by itself. It works its way through the system, and in about 30 days, you have salt water. With any luck, maybe we drop 2 bags of salt a month. So it's fantastic in terms of being cost effective, less manpower, less chemicals. We've got a chemical control reader that goes right to our app. No more guesswork. As long as it's well maintained, we shouldn't have to go back and do anything for at least, my hope would be 15, 20 years. When you think senior center, you tend to think, for lack of a better term, like geriatric, if you will. And I was so pleasantly surprised that there are some 80-year-olds that are in here doing push-ups, and there are some people that are doing push-ups against the wall, and that's okay. It has been fantastic. They have a lot of love, a lot of energy.
I think that the people that work with anybody of a special population are in it for the right reasons. I enjoy the older population just because you're working with people with a wealth of knowledge and experience, and you also have something to offer them as a fitness professional.
The Senior Center isn't the only spot on our Township campus with major renovations to share. Township Hall's auditorium has been undergoing a facelift of its own, complete with new furnishings and audiovisual equipment. The project total is about $360,000, which is paid for by PEG fees earmarked for cable-related capital expenses. While renovations are underway, municipal meetings have been held in the BCTV studio. Did you know that this is BCTV's 40th anniversary year? Since 1985, we have been providing governmental transparency by recording and broadcasting meetings, telling community stories, and providing the tools and support to empower volunteer producers. As we continue to grow and evolve with changing technology, I'm so proud of the work my team has accomplished. One aspect of production we do really well here is local sports. Let's take a look at the behind the scenes of the team in action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
BCTV is our studio in Bloomfield Township. That's where we are here. That's where I'm sitting. And the BACB is the Birmingham Area Cable Board. We've been in partnership with the Birmingham Area Cable Board for about 25 years. While Birmingham is in the name, it is actually 4 other communities, which is Bingham Farms, Beverly Hills, the Village of Franklin, and Birmingham. So those are the 4 other communities that we manage through a contract that's about $300,000, where we cover community events and, most importantly probably, are the municipal meetings.
I think key to what we do is, in addition to providing a resource for the public, we are also key to government transparency, which is allowing residents of the communities we serve the opportunity to be involved in government happenings through board meetings by our coverage of them. I think that we are an ideal partner for the Birmingham Area Cable Board because we are right next door to those communities. And I think interlocal agreements of any kind bolster all communities up. I believe its original intention was, simply put, to provide the same great service to the residents of those communities that we provide to the residents of Bloomfield Township.
This is PEG, so Public, Education, and Government. We normally focus on the public and the government side. And the schools usually have their own resources. Dan Parente, who is no longer with Birmingham Schools, he retired, and he reached out to us and said, hey, I think this is a great opportunity. You guys could do some sports for us.
We do sports with the BACB because that's what they wanted to do. That's what they funded. They made an investment in a $1 million production truck that can go out to parades, events, and sports. And so the BACB, they are the ones that determined what sporting events we were going to cover. And it's grown a little bit over the years, and sometimes we're able to add a game if a game is taken away.
Instead of sticking with one particular sport, we thought it'd be a great idea, since Birmingham has 2 high schools, Grove, Seaholm, we'll try to go out and cover those rival games. So that's football, swimming, wrestling, volleyball, hockey, softball, baseball, you know, you name it.
We would love to be doing more. There's other private schools in our viewing area that we don't cover just because we aren't funded by those groups. But I think, I would be totally open to doing more. People love to see the local sports. They love to see their kids play.
What's unique is we are able to provide a very professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, play-by-play announcer, a color commentator, usually a sideline reporter, with a crew of anywhere from 5 to 15 people giving the coverage.
We drive to that school, unload all the equipment, have a little pre-production meeting beforehand, what positions everybody's going to be doing that day. And then everybody knows what they have to do as far as where the equipment goes. I kind of direct them to say, I want certain cameras in these locations. The announcers are going to be sitting over here, so somebody goes and sets up the stuff for the announcers. We set up the cameras. We're in here running cables. We're in here turning all this gear on, getting graphics ready, replay stuff ready. Once the production's ready to start, we're communicating right beforehand. We're communicating with our commentators, maybe doing pre-interviews before the game that we can roll in post-production. Everybody's on their A game. When the show's over, we do some post interviews with the player of the game. We do a little wrap up with our announcers and then break everything down. And then the truck leaves and comes back here and sits until we have to go out for the next shoot. And rinse and repeat.
Almost everyone here has some sort of formal training from a collegiate university or trade school. and many of them cross-pollinate and work other jobs. So, many of our staff works Red Wings and Pistons games, Detroit Tigers games, concert coverage at Pine Knob. So these are people who are tried and true and have a lot of experience in the field. I think in many ways Steve Rhoda is the face of BCTV. So many community members recognize him, and when they think of BCTV, they think of him. And he's really a guiding light for all of our crew that works on these productions. I think he's the symbol of how you treat the people that you work with, how you treat other community members, and how you run a production when you're out.
He is my operation manager who manages video services, and he manages the truck and a lot of the contracts. If anything's going wrong in any of the municipalities, he's the one that runs over there and plugs everything in and makes sure it's all working. But he's also a really expert sports videographer and director.
As the production's happening, there's always something in live or live to tape productions that makes you be on your toes, whether it's camera, running replay, graphics, directing, technical directing. It does have a little bit of stress, but not a lot of stress. You don't see too much gray in my hair yet. Every day is different. I like coming to work, and it's a great place to be, great community, and I just love it.
Oh, that's a buzzer!
Part of what we get to do is that, if seniors are at home watching our cable programming and they can't get out to an event, it still makes them feel part of the community. It's like the feedback that I've gotten from residents saying, my mom was stuck at home and she was able to watch the show, and it just gave her like that warm community feeling. And I don't know how you can put a price on that.
Of course, we also want to feature students outside of sports, and it's never too hard to find a story about students who give their time and talents to our community. In early March, students from One School Global Detroit reached out to the Bloomfield Township Police Department to find a way to give back. The collaboration resulted in a donation campaign for Haven, an Oakland County nonprofit focused on providing resources for victims of domestic violence.
I'm here with the One School Global Detroit campus, and we are dropping off items at Haven.
One School Global is a small, private Christian school, but what's really unique about it is, even though we are small, we have 36 campuses all across North America, and we do a lot of virtual learning. We have a full live class via Zoom every single day. One of the biggest things that we as a school is we absolutely try to empower the student. Student leadership team, which is very similar to a lot of public schools, which is the student council, they do take on a lot of initiatives. They do create their own initiatives, take the lead of it, organize it.
We were just really wanting to somehow provide support to the local police department. I reached out an email to officer and he was asking what could we do.
I thought it was awesome when a student reached out to me, and it wasn't a principal, it wasn't a teacher, it was them specifically reaching out, telling me directly what their goal was. It's the whole reason I got into police work, is serving the community.
She suggested that we should donate items to Haven. One of our core values at One School Global is care and compassion, and we thought what was happening here at Haven just aligned perfectly with that.
Haven is Oakland County's only agency that provides comprehensive services to survivors of intimate partner violence and sexual assault. Those comprehensive services include counseling, court advocacy, forensic exams, prevention education, as well as crisis and support and all those kind of wraparound services, all for free. To have a school group come in or a community partner come in with donations means everything to us. It means that we can continue to offer services. It means that survivors in shelter and those not in shelter are going to get the things that they need, those basic needs. Someone might come in with just what's on the clothes on their back, and they don't have shampoo or they don't have soap. We are so grateful when a new group reaches out to us to support our mission and to support survivors.
Everything was truly student-driven. This was truly on them.
So from the start, it was really made easy when you were given the list of, items that Haven desired, their most essential items. We rolled it out to our grades 3 through 12 students. There's 51 of us. We introduced it, kind of made it a friendly competition. So we divided it into 3 teams, and a mixture of grades 3 through 12 students, and just the element of kind of friendly competition, see which of the 3 teams could bring in the most items. And it was a good kind of like little friendly competition, team spirit, but all in view of just getting as much in as possible. We had nearly all the students. I think it was 94% of of kids about stuff, so it was good.
I love seeing a group come in and giving a tour and sharing the impact that not only are they having on the moment they are here, but how that ripple effect will impact survivors generations to come. And to see that light bulb moment in somebody during the tour, they're going to take that back. They're going to take that back to their community. They're going to take that back to their friends. That's really a big part of how we're going to achieve our mission of eradicating intimate partner violence and sexual assault is through prevention education. They look around and that really hits home, and that's going to stay with them hopefully for the rest of their days, or take them into a new realm of, I can do good in this world.
I just think it's super nice that they care about their community. They reached out to the appropriate people that point them in the right direction, because I think a lot of people want to help, but they don't know how to help. So going to the people that have the resources of who needs the help and where we can give the help is important.
I'm very proud of everything they have done, very proud of who they are becoming, very proud of the initiatives they take, from a leadership, from a responsibility, but then almost more importantly, the care and compassion piece, because truly, especially in today's day and age, we need that more than ever.
It's just that's a good feeling when we're able to support something this good of a cause.
Haven is a tremendous resource for those it serves. Here in the Township, we also have a special training program aimed at empowering women. In early February, Bloomfield Township Police Department hosted the first of an ongoing series of women's self-defense classes using the Rape Aggression Defense System, also called RAD. Community Relations Officer Heather Glovach and department detectives lead students through basic stances and techniques to provide women the ability to defend themselves from harassment, aggression, or assault.
RAD stands for Rape Aggression Defense, and it's the basic self-defense class for women. We emphasize with RAD as it's not a ground and pound technique you're learning. You're learning basically a distractionary technique or a self-defense technique that will stop the aggressor, and then you can get out of there.
Early on in my career, my rookie year, I still remember the first sexual assault report I took. It's that narrative where, oh, you'll be pulled into an alley. That's not so true. The statistics don't support that data. Not only in Michigan, but nationwide, you're more likely to be sexually assaulted by an acquaintance, by somebody you know. So it can happen to anybody. So RAD is actually a science-based program. They're based off data. We try to teach our participants the necessary tools to avoid it.
A lot of times these women, they're getting picked because the assailant thinks they're weak. And as women, we're not weak. We just might be underprepared.
And we got to reprogram ourselves from, you don't have to be nice, you can say no. No is a complete sentence. It's giving these young ladies and these women this permission. It's not being rude, it's self-preservation.
Really good pushing move. A lot of times we use that motion in police work to get people out of our way. The systematic approach to RAD, and the presentation really goes well with actual demonstration and actual kicking and punching. It's a really nice introduction into actually making contact with something.
When we start showing the instruction, we tell them, don't hit as hard, let's get the mechanics down. Same with like weightlifting and running or any sport you take up. You got to do the movement slowly so you get the mechanics down right, and then you can add your speed and power later on. And I tell them, hit me. There's one move where I pull their arm and then they strike my forearm, and if it hurts really good, I'll tell them I don't mind taking it to get that instruction across. And the reality is, in a situation, we tell them you're going to fight with everything that you got. We're very, very strong emotionally, physically, and it's just telling other women that we can do it.
Good. Ready! If you're quiet, nobody thinks anything is wrong, but if you start yelling, no, stay back, people around you know that we're not playing. This isn't your cousin, this isn't your friend, this is a stranger or somebody you do know that's trying to hurt you.
Being prepared and being aware of your surroundings is not being paranoid. They're two different concepts. And when you overthink, you worry. When you worry, you become anxious and you get anxiety, and then it comes to the point where you don't even want to leave your house. Be prepared, and that's where the confidence comes in. Like, go ahead and live your life. These are the tools that you need to help you live your life, right? And you'd be surprised the muscle memory that you have.
Just seeing this confidence, it just makes me feel like I got into this job for a reason, and That's the reason, right? Is knowing that you're making a difference, even if it's just in one life.
That warm and fuzzy feeling, right? That we've made a difference. I like to know that. That's one less report I'll probably end up taking.
RAD workshops are offered at different times throughout the year, so keep an eye out for the next opportunity. Today, I'm standing just in front of the sheep pen at Bowers School Farm. Unlike other working farms, Bowers husbandry practices set the farm up to welcome new baby animals primarily between December and January. Thanks to help from the many Bowers students and volunteers, the barn is opened up on key days to host a winter birth celebration. Let's see what new life has come to the farm this winter.
Today's event is Winter Birth Celebration, and what that is a chance for the community to come during the winter, which is typically a quiet time here at the farm, where we're not open to the public, where they can come in today and see the baby animals that have been born. It's a really special time. You can hear the moms make their special mom sounds, and the babies interact with their moms with nursing and bopping around. It's just a really special way to see what has come in the winter to the farm. We are very diligent in our breeding and our husbandry practices. We look at the date where we need the animal to be a certain size or weight or age, and we work backwards from that and parallel it with the school programs that are happening. So it's all these bits and pieces of knowledge. It's a big puzzle, and we try to find the ideal date while also managing the best health of our animals. And it just happens to be in December when it's cold. And so we've created some unique situations with some heat barrels that are reclaimed pickle barrels that we've added a heat lamp to and a little door so that babies can pop in and out and the moms are still nearby to care for their young. 2 of our ewes gave birth to triplets, which is a lot to raise, especially when it's cold. So we pulled the 2 weaker lambs off of those moms, and because we're an educational farm and we have the extra hands and the time, we're able to really give those younger, weaker lambs a chance. So they are bottle fed by our students and our volunteers who have been trained to care for the animals, and those 2 little lambs are thriving now. We get eyes lit up for all ages when they get to see the babies. It's so special. I mean, think about a new baby in your family, and there's that excitement and that wonder, and it's really fun when we are able to open up the little goat kid pen, and you can go in and interact with the goats. They'll bop all over you. The new animals here are exploring and learning, just like our students are in some ways. Our students come from multiple different places. We have Bloomfield Hills Public School students, which include Bowers Academy and the high school. And we have 4-H, which is a county or a national organization where students from any school district can participate. And then there's FFA, which is Future Farmers of America.
I volunteer here every week and I take classes here. I've always wanted to go to vet school, and then last year, after taking a class here, kind of solidified that I just want to work with animals the rest of my life. I am going to pre-vet school next year, so it's really great that I get to work with these animals that not everyone has the opportunity to work with.
We'll come and we feed the animals, give them water, clean out their pens. We also go to the county fair and show animals. The responsibility you learn, because you have to learn, oh, I have to be here that many times a week. I can't back out because that animal is my responsibility. And so that's also something that I think you really learn.
Our 4-H and FFA volunteers are students, and they're here by choice. They love caring for the farm, being with the animals, having friends and a community that supports their growth and wonder. Winter birth is a joyful experience, and to have those students be able to tell the stories, because oftentimes these are the students who are also here during the birth. It's a great opportunity for our students to practice public speaking, interact with people that they don't know very often, and develop those life skills.
It's really special, being able to be a kid kind of explaining something to an adult that they don't really know, because that's not something that happens very often.
And it's also special because sometimes I get to see the animals being born or help them be born. It's really cool. It's a little messy, but it's more for me. I learn more here than at school.
It's a little stressful, but it's also really cool to see.
This farm can't sustain without our volunteers. We're grateful, tremendously appreciative, and the community that supports this place really allows us to grow in beautiful ways to connect directly back to our Bloomfield community and beyond.
The student volunteers at Bowers demonstrate something we all know: animals and youth just go together. The Birmingham Youth Assistance knows this too. They hosted the 42nd Annual Kids Dog Show in early February. Featuring categories like Best Dog Costume and Waggiest Tail, this event encourages young people to develop and grow alongside man's, or in this case, kids' best friend.
Birmingham Youth Assistance has been serving the community since 1962. We're about building families, strengthening kids, and preventing abuse, neglect, and delinquency.
We use this organization to make references and referrals for our students and their families. We have some students that are going through different social emotional challenges, and they're able to provide the necessary support to help make them whole over time, and it just is a great resource to have in our toolbox.
We provide counseling to young students facing all kinds of challenges in their lives, parent education, scholarships for summer camp, and put on a lot of fun family programs like this.
This is a wonderful event that brings the community together. It allows us to bring awareness to the Birmingham Youth Assistance, but it also allows kids to have fun around dogs, which is something that is true, near and dear to a lot of children's hearts.
I think dogs are a great teacher in many ways. Not only do we want to teach our own dogs, but the dogs teach the kids responsibility. It teaches them empathy. It teaches them how to take care of somebody else other than themselves, and makes them understand that the world doesn't just revolve around them as kids.
If they can feel good about taking care of their pet and taking responsibility, it makes them feel more capable and empowered to take charge of other aspects of their lives. I think it's important for all kids to get a chance to get the spotlight and get recognized for something. And if they're not an academic kid or a sports kid, this is a fun way that they can enjoy time with their dog, get motivated to learn to train them, and maybe come away with a ribbon or a trophy.
First place goes to Evan and Owen McKenzie.
His name's Benny. He's a very good boy, and some of his favorite things to do is play, cuddle, and go on walks. We worked a lot to train him. Yeah. So, like at home, we used treats and other methods to train him, and at first he wasn't that good, but then he got pretty good.
They asked me to be a judge today, and I'm super excited to be here.
I'm looking to see, that bond that's there between the dog and the child, and I just enjoy seeing the happiness of the companionship and the loyalty the dog has to its owner.
Best in Show goes to Sarah and Charlie. Congratulations.
This is my dog Charlie, and she's my best friend. She sleeps with me. She's like my little shadow every night.
I think a child leaves this competition feeling really good about their relationship with the dog, about the fun that they've had with other kids, maybe feel proud of what they achieved. And a lot of these kids will come back. We're having fun for the kids, but we're also building family connection and family traditions.
What stories await us in the warmer months? We have some ideas, but we want to hear from you. Get in touch and tell us what stories you'd like to share. And as always, join us for the next edition of Living in Bloomfield.